My parents are first generation Americans. My dad's name is Rufus Ferguson. My mom's name is Stephanie Ferguson. Both of my grandparents came from the islands of the Bahamas. I had an African American experience, but a Caribbean American upbringing. My culture and my background, the food, the practices, the music, very Caribbean. The expectations in terms of education and academia, very, very Caribbean. The discipline, very Caribbean. My parents really believed in having I wouldn't call it strict, but people call it strict, but a very ordered household. Things were done a certain way, and there was an expectation for them to be done. My parents, when they spoke to me one time, it created a sense of urgency for excellence, if you will, to get the right things done right away. My mother used to say, if a task is once begun, never leave it till it's done. Be the labor great or small, do it well or not at all. And I was reared with excellence. My dad believed in it. My mom believed in it. There was a point in time where I was on the wrestling team. I can still remember it. We were getting ready for the county championships. I was in ninth grade, and the report cards came out, and I made 2 C's on my report card. My dad immediately pulled me off the wrestling team and told me, he said, "Hey man, go over to the light switch." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Go over to the light switch." He said, "When you flick it on and off, does it come on 70% of the time?" I said, "No." He said, "It comes on all the time." He said, "And that's what I expect." He said, "I expect for you to be on all the time in the classroom." And I was pulled off the wrestling team, and that was another experience in my life where my parents really showed me that athletics was secondary to academics. So during my childhood, I really got an understanding of what we call in mathematics the order of operations, how things are supposed to run. Academics first, sports second, and above all, of course, religion and family. In order to become an Olympian, you have to accept the life of excellence. And as I said before, my parents kind of reared me under the umbrella of excellence, under the umbrella of being outstanding. And if you look at outstanding and you look at the word in of itself and link it to the word outlier, you really have to be comfortable with being alone, comfortable with solitude, comfortable with the late night study habits, which also mirror the early morning runs. So if you look at the way that my parents reared me, did they raise me to be an Olympian? No. But the way that they raised me allowed me to become an Olympian, because I wasn't afraid to do things by myself. I wasn't afraid of being ridiculed for being alone. I wasn't afraid to get up early in the morning and do things by myself and study late. Those things I was not afraid to do. If you want to go to the Olympics, you have to get up at 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning. If you look at the military, if you look at successful people, if you look at CEOs, everybody who gets it done in life is up at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And that's just a fact. And you don't know that when you're young, but when your parents push you to go to bed early and get up late, and they order your day and they give you structure, it creates a foundation for excellence. And when you want to go to the Olympics, 5 o'clock, 5:30 morning workouts, come back and eat. 12 o'clock film sessions, go eat again. I ate a lot. Then you go for evening practice, and then you come back, and then you eat again, and then you rest, and then you get in the ice bath, or you go for your massage appointments, and then you're back up in the morning. It is very, very rhythmic. It is very boring. But what a lot of people don't want to do, they don't want to do the arduous, boring work. They get caught in this, what I call a microwave society, where they want self-gratification, when they think they can pop it in, hit the popcorn button, and then walk away and everything is fine, and we got hot smelling popcorn and we're done. And that's not how life is. Life requires work. Life requires practice. Life requires deliberate practice. Life requires repetition. 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 And repetition. And what I notice in life is that a lot of people don't want to do the repetition in order to become the best. And if you don't fill up that bucket, whatever it is, with the reps, you can't pull out the wins. What keeps me up at night is running out of time. There's only so much time in the day. There's only so much time in life. And you don't know when your number is going to be called. And I'm always concerned if I've given my kids the maximum that they need in life, that I maximize what I'm supposed to give them today. Did I tell my daughter that I loved her a lot today? Did I hug on my son? Did I love on my son enough today? Did I teach him the things that are necessary in order to be a good citizen in society? Did I take my daughter on enough daddy-daughter dates? Did I walk in the park with my son and teach him, what side of the sidewalk that he needs to walk on and how to treat a woman and pull out the chair? Like, I just wonder if I'm going to run out of time. Like, you want to see your kids graduate from college, you want to watch them get married, you want to watch them have kids, and you just want to make sure you don't run out of time. I mean, there's a quote by Benjamin Mays where he talks about God's minute. He says, I only have a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it. I must suffer if I lose it and give an account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. And there's an eternity in the minutes, in the seconds, and the hours that we spend. And the time that we have is so pregnant. And a lot of us don't take that time as being as important and pregnant as it is. And I do, and I understand how precious it is. And my fear is I'm just not going to be able to give everything that I have, not only to my kids, but to the world.